and gentlemen, today's episode is one that you cannot afford to miss if you will be a candidate vying in the next election, whether in Kenya or in Africa. But before I get into the details of it, allow me to appreciate Women United for Our Future for their continuous support towards the production of this particular show. And for those who are new here, this is the Linda Ogweno show where we train aspirants on politics and political processes, not only in Kenya but Africa, hoping that we'll be able to bring better governance. And this particular show is guided by biblical principles. And so, yes, we live in the day and age of social media, and even the platform that you're using right now, we are leveraging on that particular space. And so there are things about social media that can work to your advantage, and also there are things that can work to your disadvantage. But before we look at those, we want to look at which are some of these social media platforms that are there, and how are you able to tap onto them as an aspirant. And so for the ones that are very common, there are very many, but we're going to talk about the ones that are very common in our context. And the first one is Facebook. And you find that Facebook is very big, and there is very big on community groups, and it's also very big on live stream and targeted advertisements. So you can do your advertisements, and then it's very targeted on who it shows that too. The other one is the one that used to be known as Twitter, but currently is known as X. X is very good for real-time engagement, trending topics, and just shaping narratives. You find X Spaces is very huge, and there's so many things that get discussed that are very real-time. Again, we are talking about Instagram, and Instagram is strong on visuals, very strong on photography and videography in terms of the reels that it has there. And as a candidate, you may want to think about things like behind the scenes, things like that. TikTok is also very important in our day and age, and it's very big with young people. It has short, catchy videos, and you can use it for grassroots mobilization. Things like TikTok Live can help you connect with voters. They can also help you to resource mobilize. Again, we have YouTube, so YouTube is very ideal for sharing long stories, speeches, and also advertisements that are usually run there. Things like YouTube Live will also help you connect with your supporters. We have WhatsApp. WhatsApp is very powerful in terms of direct messaging, either to an individual supporter or to a group of people. And you find that it's also very good for grassroots mobilization and closed group discussion. So maybe you have like your campaign team, you can have a group for that. Within that campaign team, you can still also have smaller groups, maybe a group dealing with your security team, a group dealing with your social media team, like that. You can also use this platform to fundraise and to just speak to the different community groups that are already there. Again, we are talking when it comes to WhatsApp, you can talk about WhatsApp status. It's very good for publicity. WhatsApp has also enabled WhatsApp calls. You're able to make phone calls, be it to an individual and to a group, and it's very, very affordable as long as you have data and internet. You're able to do that. It's also introduced channels right now, and people can just join your channel and be your followers, as well as they can also be your supporters. Again, we're looking at LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a bit for the professional people, but it's also very nice to connect with other people in your profession, and also just as a candidate, it can make you look very, very professional. Again, the one platform that can merge all this is a website. You may want to just consider having a website as a candidate. So when you're preparing your political campaign social media strategy, what are some of the nuggets that you can be able to consider? So first, you want to create a clear political brand identity. Why are you vying for that particular seat? And remember to watch the episode where we talked about what is your why. So why are you vying for that particular seat, and what is unique about you? There are many aspirants, even for that political seat that you're vying for. You're not the only one. So what is unique about you? What is your unique identity? So have that, and apart from that, you want to think about maybe something that is unique to you. Let's say your color, your fonts, the one that you'll be using. So you'll find that once you have figured out this, then you'll be able to be very consistent when you're doing this from the beginning all through. You'll be very consistent. Again, you want to think about having a budget for social media, for your social media engagement. So you see, people who will be working for you in your social media team, you will have to pay them. If you'll be working with influencers, endorsers, you'll have to pay them. Their platform costs, those ones you have to pay. If you're going to boost your content, you will pay them. And sometimes to authenticate an account, it comes at a financial cost. You find that you will need data and internet, and members of your team will need this. That comes at a cost. If you're having an office and even equipment, maybe you need to buy laptops and phones. You will want to think about storage, photography, videography, graphic designers. People are just going to, come up with those posters on your behalf. You may want to think about bloggers. Are you going to pay them? And if you're going to even use volunteers, you want to pay the volunteer. So you see it comes at a cost, so please budget for it. The next thing, you want to hire a dedicated social media team. Yes. And when you're doing this, please combine both the professionals, and if your budget is low, you can also have the volunteers coming in and doing that, or even doing it on part-time or doing it on full-time, but blend the same, so that you have people who are very vast with managing social media accounts and engaging the online platform. Again, you want to create a thorough political social media strategy. So which strategy are you going to use? How are you going to be posting? Are you going to use, let's say, social media partnerships or influencers? Are you going to, which platforms are you going to use? So come up with this strategy, and have specific metrics for campaign success and regular checking. So you're checking against what you had set up. Are we making progress? Are we on the right track? Things like that. The next thing you want to do is verify your political social media accounts. There are so many there are so many accounts, and people can hack into your account and create another, take your photo, and then they use it to create another account. So you find that, for example, my name is Linda Ogweno there, but when you go online, sometimes you can find there are so many Linda Ogweno. So which one is the authentic Linda Ogweno? So take advantage of authenticating your account, and create that authentic account. Again, the other thing that you want to do is start the verification process early. Some of these verification processes take some time, so you want to do that early as a candidate. Avoid to do things at the very last minute. The other thing you want to do is research and understand your target audience. Who is your target audience? Is it the women? Is it the youth? Is it the young? Sorry, I said the youth. Is it people in the rural setup? Is it people in so understand. So you want to do your research before you start posting. So things like Facebook audience insights and Twitter analytics and voter data to craft detailed profile of your constituency. So these will determine which platform to prioritize and what content is most effective to enlist potential supporters. Another thing you want to think about is create a crisis management protocol. You're in the political arena, so propaganda may just hit you. It may just, somebody may just post something that is, radical like that, but you have to counter it. So how are you going to counter it? Again, they say human beings is to error. So maybe you or a member of your team may make a mistake and it has gone out there. How are you going to counter it? So you may want to think about that strategy very fast. You can even come up with a social media policy, yes, and just put it in the office where your team will be, so that everybody within your campaign team is averse, but especially people in your campaign team, they have to know it, and so that you have a very quick and rapid response when something happens. You want to implement advanced social media monitoring tools. Take advantage of the monitoring tools that are already been laid out by the different platforms, the ones that are there. It's going to help you to, engage with your political campaign account. It's also going to help you, find out the trending topics that are relevant to your message. Again, you want to find out what your opponent is posting. Yes, it's very important that you find out what your opponent is posting. What are the questions that people are asking? You want to find out. All that information is very important to you. Again, you want to find out public conversation that people are having about your campaign. What are people saying about you on the online space? You want to find out. Again, you want to diversify your platform strategy. So instead of focusing solely on one network, you want to be active and target voters, on the different networks. So as I had mentioned in the introduction, that the different platforms. So consider at least having three and being active on those three platforms, so that you engage all of them. Just don't be in one particular place. And I've said you find that Twitter is good on one thing, or X is good in one thing, Facebook is good on the other. So take advantage of all those of that. Again, you want to create platform specific messaging. So I've already talked about being in more than one platform, but now be specific. For example, TikTok had mentioned is very great with young people. So tailor make that information to be to reach them, and they're very strong on short videos. So have that and just post it there. When you come to LinkedIn is more or less professional, so you want to also custom make your message and your content to be specific and to speak to that particular audience. When you come to Twitter is very, and X, formerly Twitter, current now X, it's very brief on words, and the amount of words that you use, and even the amount of photos that you can post. So you want to be very short and candid and to the point. But when you come to Facebook, it allows. So tailor make your content to fit in. Again, you want to invest in high quality visual content. So please engage a professional photographer in taking very good photos. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So just take a very good photos. Hire a professional photographer so that this will be able to sell you. But if you're not able to afford that, you may want to invest in a very good camera, so that even if you go for functions, you're able to take photos and you're able to share them. Again, you want to prioritize video content across platform. You find that data has shown that videos do better than photos. So just take videos, and you want to take advantage of things like live streaming events. When you're live streaming events, this is giving real time feedback, and have somebody on that who is engaging with people. As people are sending their comments and questions, somebody is engaging with them literally. But prioritize video. Again, you want to use content curation tools. So supplement original campaign content with relevant curated tools in order to maintain active presence. You find that you remember we had talked about strategy, and you already came up with your strategy. But online, you may find that somebody has talked about something that you want to share. That is what I mean by just curate and just blend it. Or something that is trending and something that is very relevant. For example, Kenya, we are known for athletes, and maybe our athletes have gone out there and they have performed well, and that is what people are talking about. So also just create content that is relevant to that, and now merge it with that calendar, with whatever the strategy that you had already laid out. And if somebody has shared something that you also feel is relevant to you, you can cross share it. Maybe it's also another aspirant, especially if you're vying as a team, maybe members of a political party, you're vying as a team, and somebody within that political party has shared something that you want to is relevant, and you feel you relate with. So you can share it. What happens in that particular situation? You find that their followers will also become your followers over time. Again, you want to maintain a consistent posting schedule. So you can say every Monday we'll be posting content out there. When you're very deliberate about that, then it keeps you grounded and it keeps you active on the online media spaces. You can look out for special holidays and important celebration dates also. For example, the days that you got independence, like Mashuja Day, Women's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, International Day of the African Girl Child, Youth Day. There are so many. So look at the calendar of the country. There are those holidays that are for the country, and also there are those international days that are celebrated across the world, and have content on those particular days. Again, focus on meaningful engagement instead of going viral. It is very You may want to think that going viral is very important, but you see that meaningful engagement of a supporter asking you question and you're replying like that. That is what transcends to real vote. Viral is something that comes and goes. People forget it very fast. But that personalized interaction makes voters get to know you. So establish a system of ready responses for public inquiries, and delegate staff members who will actively interact with constituents. Again, ask your followers for their opinions. It's very good to get feedback. So things like polls, things like surveys are very, very important. Then use this feedback to address their concern, and use it in future content if you're creating content when you're creating content. Again, you want to activate supporter network through strategic sharing. So just don't respond. Go beyond that and just maybe get their number, get their contacts. You can get them to volunteer in your campaign. You can get them to, when they share their contacts. So those contacts can be very important even in the future. For example, on the date of voting, you can use now those direct numbers to send messages and ask people, or emails asking people to come out and vote, and asking people to just reshare your content. So that is very, very important. You may want to think about adding things like QR codes to to where people are able to access you. Again, the other thing you want to do is integrate social channels across your campaign touch point. So you find that for everything that will be going out, make sure that all your handles are there. Facebook, X, all of them are there, so that whichever handle a supporter is comfortable with, or that which they use often, regardless of which one it is, they are able to get you in that particular platform. So you also want to be sharing things like your link, so that it can redirect somebody to maybe your website or maybe your YouTube channel, where they are able to get more information, because maybe what you've shared is just a small brief, but now when you put a link and they go there, they're able to get more information about what you're doing. So we are talking about even things like your manifesto, your email, your printed material, even your signages. All of them must have your handles. Again, you want to think about creating engagement driven social media context and competition that motivates supporters to amplify your messages, so where supporters can win cash or merchandise rewards. So you find that you can create, things like a photo contest, or just a content where people get to compete, and you can find where in the comments you can say maybe the comment that has the most likes, somebody can get to win maybe like a merchandise. So when you put those competition, people engage and it's very active, and really supporters really like that, and it can bring in more results to not only your social media campaign, but also to you as a person, and your branding. Again, you want to think about develop strategic partnership with aligned social media influencers and celebrities. The social media influencers and celebrities. So just tap onto that, and they can also help you. They can also help grow your coverage. But remember to prioritize authentic relationship over transactional endorsement. Voters are able to sense and spot fake relationships a miles away. So be very very authentic in those relationships. Again, you want to use targeted advertising to reach specific group of voters. Again, as we said, like Facebook can help you know the different categories of people. So that will really, really help you. So you find that transparency, accountability, and compliance with election laws and regulation are also critical when you're politically advertising. So don't forget that. Keep the rules of IEBC at the back of your mind. And for those who don't know, please remember to watch the other episodes where we have tackled these in details. Again, you want to use real-time updates in live events, and I think I'd mentioned this when you're doing things like Twitter threads and Instagram stories and live. Just have somebody just responding to these immediately and real time, because this will work in your favor. You want to set very clear KPIs for your social media performance. So look at your KPIs and know, are you doing well? Do you have a dashboard and monitor these metrics over time? How are you doing and improve? You want to also conduct regular competitive analysis, and I'd say monitor your competition. What is your competition doing? You are able to counter it, leverage on this, and even do more. Again, you want to test different content formats and messages. You find that you may have content, the same content, you can post it across the different platforms, and then you check how has it performed in the different platforms. So if you have noticed that this performs well here, this performs there, then that will guide you going forward. Again, don't be afraid to test, to experiment with new platforms as they become available. Being an early adopter is often a benefit with high rewards. You find that people who probably join these platforms when they're just starting, they have rewards, but that is not to say that you can't catch up, but don't be scared of trying them. Again, you want to allocate resources based on platform performance. So if you have seen that this is where we are performing well, then you want to now remember I said you must budget. So the budget that you already have, you can now shift more resources to that particular platform. Analyze the timings of your post for maximum impact. You find that sometimes if you post on a Monday, a content may not do well as if you post on a weekend, maybe because weekends most people are more relaxed and they have time to be on the social media space. Again, you find sometimes if you post in the morning, it may not do well compared to a post that is posted in the evening, because maybe in the morning people are busy, they're working, but in the evening they're from work, they're in their house, they have their phones. So look at those timings as well, and whatever research you have found out, now maximize on that going forward. You may want to also think about separating your personal account from your campaign account. So this, This keeps you organized and reduces the risk of personal content interfering with your campaign messaging. Again, you want to engage with online communities. So when when you're engaging with online communities beyond your platform is when you can ask them to, in case you want to volunteer, and get their number so that you're able to engage outside. Again, now, right, one of the things that is beginning to be very, very famous is called virtual town halls. So this is also another live streaming platform where voters are able to ask you questions. So you can leverage on that. You find that when the candidate engages in Ask Me Anything sessions, it can be very helpful in building their authentic trust. Nowadays, you find even government officials have started this platform where they come to the ground and they ask people on the ground, what do you want us to do? So if you have that live link as a candidate, then people are just able to ask you questions directly and get to interact with you. Fundraising, you can use the online platform to fundraise. Crowdfunding is very huge on the online space, and it's very powerful. And even sale of your merchandise, you're able to do this. So just leverage on that when fundraising. But remember to watch the episode where we also talked about fundraising extensively. Again, remember that you can use social media to advocate for something that you're passionate about. Let's say you're passionate about FGM, because that is one of the things that affects us as a country. So you can use this platform to advocate with it. You'll find that sometimes, even when you're a candidate but you have not won election, you can be able to solve one or two community problems just using social media. So people and your supporters will see that, hey, you are a credible candidate just because you have managed to do one or thing even before you are elected. So they'll say, hey, if you vote for person so and so, then they'll be able to do more if they have already done this with that which they have. And of course, you can use it not only to advocate for that, but also ask people to come out and vote. I want to pause there and leave it there for now. Because this channel is guided by biblical principles, allow me to read for you Ecclesiastes 1:9, which says, what has been will be again, and what has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. So as we live in the day and age of social media is something that keeps changing, and this is one topic that we will definitely redo, so that we are able to update you on the new changes that come. But back to what I was saying, as social media is coming in, and as the society is changing, the word of Ecclesiastes reminds us that there is nothing new under the sun, that somehow all these things still just fit into what God created and the world that God created. So stick on God, and He will be able to guide you in your political campaign as you seek your seat. I want to appreciate you for watching till this very minute. I want to encourage you to be on the watch out for the next episode of the Linda Ogweno Political Show. Thank you, and bye bye.